Welcome to the weekend, folks. I got a new interesting startup that's raised money recently, and it's from a town I'm very familiar with, Chicago, Illinois, where I grew up. So, salute to everybody from Chicago. Okay, so this company is, I would call it like transportation logistics kind of space or the industry. Solution is apparently a software to simplify the cross-border trade process between the U.S. and Mexico. So that's actually, I think, capitalizing on an expanding trend, which is the nearshoring boom. So nearshoring basically is a derivative of offshoring, where companies were moving to China to produce their goods and then ship them back to the U.S. or wherever. Now, because of the issues, kind of trade barriers and other issues between the U.S. and China, companies are moving a lot of manufacturing to Mexico, and you would just truck it into the U.S. So that's called nearshoring. Pretty cool. It's an expanding trend, and so this startup is trying to capitalize on a trend, which salute to them. That's smart. So one possible reason they got funded. Competitor analysis, I would have to say, there's probably not a lot of competitors, if anyone, already doing this. I'm sure there's logistics companies, general ones, and there's existing players, but if they're narrow enough, I think they'll be good just focusing on simplifying this process. But there's already existing players, so I take that back. It's not that there aren't competitors, there are competitors, but they just have to be narrowly focused, and their software has to be an improvement on what's being done currently, which isn't great. And you can learn that from all the companies who are trying to get goods in from Mexico. Okay, the website, no surprise, Cargado.com. I don't remember if I mentioned the name. Kind of an interesting name, Cargado. Yeah, so website, Cargado.com. It's pretty early, that website. There really isn't much to it, and they don't give you very much details. They do give you the opportunity to join the waitlist, as you can see from the screenshot I have posted. Product market fit, I would say it's too early. But they still managed to raise $3 million in a pre-seed raise. So good for them. It was led by a company I've never heard of called Iron Spring Ventures. Don't know anything about them. If you do, feel free to comment. And the problem they're addressing, it's cross-border friction. That costs money and time. So anything that reduce that, expedite the shipment of goods, that would be good for everybody involved. So who are their customers? I'm a little vague, but they could be, solo trucker could license this software, and also companies, trucking companies could also, I think. So someone correct me if I misunderstood that, but that's my guess from reading about them. Pre-seed, I mentioned one concern I would have, or in my thoughts, I mentioned I think it's capitalizing on growing trends is a good idea, so I do like that. My concern would be, though, there's like transportation recession going on, and it seems pretty deep, and it seems kind of nasty. So is this really the time to be launching a logistics transportation kind of startup? I hope they have money for a few years, because if they suddenly have to raise money in a year and a half, we could still be in the midst of this kind of trucking recession. So that would be my concern. Hopefully they have a patent. When we're talking about moats, hopefully they have a patent for their software. Total funding, I don't know if they've raised anything besides the $3 million, so that might be the total funding. Market size, logistics, multi-billions. So there's an opportunity here if they can execute well. And execution really ultimately is what's going to determine the winners from the losers. So interesting space, interesting company, pretty early still. So long way to go. And they have to get product market fit. I'm just guessing. So I'll wish them well. If you have any thoughts on this company or thoughts on how I can do a better job telling you about all the cool startups I'm reading about, feel free to put it in the comments, and I'll try to get better each time. Thanks much, and yeah, have a great weekend.